Hey y'all, I'm Sarah, and this is Apocalyptic Pep Talk, a podcast about creativity, ambition, indie publishing, and the increasingly weird experience of being an author in an algorithm-driven world. The world is on fire, but we'll keep writing anyway. Let's keep going. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another Apocalyptic Pep Talk. This is Sarah, and I'm here with my work bestie and partner in crime, Nicole Ford Thomas. Hey Nicole.
Hello. I am super stoked to be here. I am so excited. This is going to be so fun.
Yay, you are my very first guest on the podcast, so you will always hold that honor. There you go, get your little crown.
Well, we
When you
need
were
to have
talking
like
to me
a
yesterday.
smoking jacket for like the Five Timers
Ooh,
Club for anybody
yeah.
that you've had on like the fifth time, like Saturday Night Live. So if you interview me 5 times, I get a smoking jacket.
Oh, yeah, we could have like little like cards where I could like punch out like
Yeah.
stars
Oh my
and just
gosh. Yeah.
send it to
After your
you.
10th visit, like your 11th visit's free.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, now I want to
I
do
love
that.
it.
Okay, so let's get to it. Why don't you tell everybody about your journey as a writer? Like, how did you end up writing and how did you end up writing short stories and all that good stuff?
Totally. I have never not been a writer. My entire life, I've been a writer in some form of another. I have a folder. It's this beat up folder, Sarah, and it's like disintegrating. It's so cool looking. That has all of my stuff that I wrote and kept as a kid.
Oh my
And some of
God.
it, like young Nicole was very thoughtful and actually would write like at the bottom, I'd put Nikki because that's what I went by as a kid. I'd put like Nikki age 10. And I was like, hey, there we go. So I can look back and tell you like how old I was when I wrote these things, but I've never not written. So it was an obvious choice for me, honestly, to just have it be something that I would do with my life. And I wrote as often as I possibly could as being a young mother, being married and stuff like that. I loved writing papers in college, in high school. So I loved that. I've never not written something. My brain just works in words, I
Yeah.
guess, is the weird way to put it. So it's just a part of me to get to the point now where I am, where it became viable to start doing this as a career, to start putting this into professional circles. Came when both of my children, my son and my daughter, were in high school and they were older and they get more self-reliant so that I didn't have to be up their butts all the time. So that was what really opened that up for me to start being like, well, I have free time now in my day. What am I going to do? And so that's what I did. I was a stay-at-home mom until they went to high school. And I homeschooled them for a while. And then when they got to high school, they went back to public school by their choice. And I supported that and let them go back in. And then I had that free time because I still didn't have like a job. I'm like,
Right.
well, I'm not a stay-at-home mom anymore. I'm not spending hours of my day teaching my own children. I'm not picking up every little thing that they've strewn across the house. So I had the time. So I started really putting into motion writing, and I was working with short stories and stuff. And I just decided I'm going to go back to college and I'm going to study writing. That's what I want to do. I would like a creative writing degree. So I went back and was having fun with all of my assignments, my creative assignments, even when I had to take the most dry and boring class known to man that was like, this is how you write a memo. This is how you
Oh my
professionally
God.
write an email. I found ways to make it fun. One of the tasks that we were given, an assignment we were given, was to make a step-by-step list. And it was supposed to be teaching us the importance of make sure you include every step.
Every single, yeah.
And some people were like, this is how you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then they'd be like, you put peanut butter on one slice of bread. And the professor was like, oh, but which side do you put it on? Where do you put it? You know, me, when it came time to do mine, my assignment was how do you drunkenly get in your house after a night of debauchery?
Oh no. Oh no.
And so it was hilarious because I was like, you lost your shoe, like look for your shoe. You're looking for the key, you can't find the key. The key's not underneath the doormat. Fuck the doormat. that doormat's an asshole and never liked you anyway. So he's going in the trash, go throw away the doormat, come back, look for the key. It's still not there. So like I had lots of lists.
Every single step.
Every single step. Because
Yeah.
I understood the assignment, but there was no way in hell I was going to do something and make it boring. And I was like, no, we're going to do this creatively. And so not to brag, but I had a 4.0. In a lot of my classes, I literally had 100% because I would go above and beyond with everything because I just love it so much. And I was a darling to my professors because one, I was older. So I wasn't like, they didn't have to babysit me. They didn't have to harangue me to do anything. They knew I was reliable. And two, because I had fun with everything. And I know how boring it has to be to sit and read a bunch of stupid ass shit from all your students. Let me hold that on, put a pin in that statement for later. It was exciting to me because I was good at it. And then I made my stuff interesting for them, which obviously gained me bonus points in all of my professors' column. Like, thank God you can write. Yes, I feel the same way. Anyway, so long story short, that's how I got into writing. I've always done it, but when I really wanted to knuckle down and do it right was when I went back to school. And it was while I was back in school, 2016, I want to say, that I originally got the idea for my novel, Spellbound. And I have to give a lot of credit to my college bestie while I was there in school. Their name is Jay Shippey, Shiplet, but Jay Shippey. And we were really, really close. And I kept thinking, I want to write something that includes LGBT stuff. Yeah. So that like themes is the word I was looking for, not stuff. LGBT themes, LGBT characters. But I also wanted to step outside of racial confines, to have it be like, I'm going to have a Black character in my story, but he's not going to be a cardboard cutout. Right. He's going to have a really freaking amazing personality. And even though he does some stuff throughout that's kind of like stereotypical in like in a negative stereotypical way, I worked so hard in writing that to make sure that he had reason to do it, for one, and that you showed that it weighed heavily on his conscience when he had to do that as well. Right. He steals a car. So I don't want that to be like, of course the Black guy stole a car. We're not, no. It's not like that. No. But he was also breaking into a grocery store and stealing them food, which was not spoilers. He keeps a ledger of everything that he steals at the end of the book and beyond. In the later short stories that come after, he works off his debts to repay what he stole. Because
you're giving away all the good stuff, Nicole.
Oh no, it has nothing to do with the plot whatsoever. But Jordan, the Black guy, is my favorite character in the entire book. And I love him so much. His sense of humor is so funny. His devotion to his grandmother is so sweet. And how tenderly he treats his love interest. I won't say anything more about that. That would be a spoiler. I wanted to create Spellbound for Jay. And I wanted a book that Jay could read and see themselves in and to feel that they've been represented. So every step of the way, I was like, Jay, how's this? Jay, how's this? When it finally got published, I remember I hadn't seen Jay in maybe 2-3 years. So when it got published, I remember walking into Starbucks where Jay was working and being like, Jay, and handing it to them. And like Jay looks at it for a second and their eyes go, oh, I can't make it. It's a podcast. Nobody can see my eyes. But Jay's eyes got super wide as like it registered what I was handing them. And they were like, oh my God, you did it. I was like, I did it. And so like I give Jay all the credit for that book because I wanted to create a book that gave Jay the representation that they needed. Right. And so that's where that came from. And it's been from writing the novel that everything else has exploded to be where we are now. So that's my long version of that's how I got here.
So you've written the novel. And you mentioned the short stories for the novel. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer short stories. I don't think writers in general really understand how powerful a short story is. I don't think they really understand the nuance that goes into writing them. A lot of people just think, well, it's like writing a novel, but you just make it shorter. It's
Wow.
definitely not. That is such an oversimplification
Yeah,
of
it's
the
not it at
process that
all.
goes into writing a short story. And one of my favorite things to do as a writer personally, and things that I enjoy reading as well, that I don't see enough of. I wish I saw more of this, because a lot of people are like, you got a word count? Like, what do you mean there? You got to cut it off at a word count. And then they have a 14,000
Yeah.
word short story. And it's like, congratulations, you have a novella now. This is a novella. This is not a
Almost,
short
yeah.
story. I love when somebody can fit an entire character arc, an entire journey, point A to point B, maybe to point C,
Yeah.
within a small amount of words. That to me is artistry. And I try to do that. I try to not have too many words. Obviously, written word, when I talk, you hear it's motor mouth. But I try to make it so that short stories are supposed to be bite-sized chunks. They're supposed to be read in one sitting entirely. Edgar Allan Poe, obviously one of the great masters of the short story, wrote in Philosophy of Composition, which was actually technically a review of, I think, Thoreau. I'm not really sure, but he put this whole section there where he explained his process in writing The Raven, in writing all of his short stories, but specifically he used The Raven as an example. But he mentioned that it's so important for a short story, any story, to be read in one sitting, one bite-sized chunk, because you need to be able to grab the reader right out of the gate, like immediately. You don't have time to waste in a short story. You've got to set that hook immediately. And you have to get them through the full range of human emotion so that the ending is satisfied. But you have to do that in short snippets.
It's surgical. I mean, it has to be precise.
It's precise. It's absolutely precise. And it's an art form that you have to practice. You have to learn how to do that. Philosophy of Composition is basically required reading, in my opinion, for anybody who's going to try their hand at short story, because he really breaks it down. So in my short stories, when I write them, okay, so I try really hard to make them just the right size for somebody to read while they're pooping. Because like if somebody can sit there and before their feet go numb, of course, so it's like perfect size for somebody to read this story. And if you've done it right, if you've written the story well, at the end, when they get to the end, they're going to close the book and go, wow, but they won't stop. Like when the paperwork's done and the blood goes back to their toesies and they're out, back in outside the bathroom, washing their hands, going out, whatever. When they do that, they're still playing the story in their head. They're still thinking about it, because a well-written short story does not stop with the end. It's just the beginning, because a well-written short story will have the reader thinking beyond that. If you give them every answer so that there's nothing to think about beyond, it's not a good short story. The idea is not to cram all of that information in. The idea is to be artful, where you leave gaps so that the reader's imagination has to engage. And if you do it well, it will engage, and they will spend days thinking about your short story. It will crop up at some point in their mind where their mind is trying to digest and chew on the story that you wrote. You have to leave questions for them to start thinking about and filling it in. That is why I prefer short stories. I just think they're so much more interesting, but also because I have ADHD.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I can see how that would make short stories a little more appealing. Do you find that they're more challenging than writing a novel, or do you struggle more with writing a novel-length project?
I struggle more with writing a novel-length project simply because of the longevity comes with it. Like I said, I have ADHD.
Right.
I need things to be one sitting, however long I can get my brain wrangled to focus for, whether it's 20 minutes or 2 hours, whatever. I need everything to happen and wrap up within that time period, or else I'm gone.
Right.
I will be off chasing butterflies in a field, like picking daisies and rolling down hills. I can't write novels because of how long the process is.
Okay.
I've done it. I can do it.
You do
I
it
don't
well.
like doing it. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just don't like doing it. And it
Right.
takes me forever because then I have to wait for my monkey mind to come back around and be able to like, oh yeah, we were writing a story. How's that going? And like 3 months have passed and you're like, oh man, I forgot about this thing. And trying to blow the dust off of it and keep going. I
Yeah.
have the longevity in my brain for my chemistry to keep going with writing a short or writing a novel. I'm so much better with short stories.
That's so interesting because I'm the opposite. I think writing a novel is so easy. I mean, not compared to writing a short story. I struggle so hard with the word limit constraint. As y'all know, I'm a very wordy bitch, and trying to compress all the words down to 5,000 is a very big struggle for me. So every time we do one of these anthologies, I struggle so hard to get the story, to tell the complete story that needs to be told while still leaving kind of a I wonder what happens next vibe, but also telling a complete story and a complete character arc. And it's a struggle for me.
I think it's a struggle for most people,
Yeah.
honestly. I think that in this situation, maybe my ADHD is my superpower.
Yeah.
Like I'm currently writing my story for the next anthology, and I tried to be like, Nicole, 3,000 words. It's way more than you've written for any other short story anthology. 3,000 words. Set yourself the goal, get it to 3,000 words. I am finding after having written by hand 300 words that I'm already a third of the way through the story. And I'm like, so now I've been a little bit more reasonable and I've set myself to 1,200 words.
Yeah.
And it's simply because I'm so trained in telling this story, keeping it moving in an interesting way without it feeling like you've just taken chunks out of it to get there. I'm like, let's get there. And I'm just impatient, perhaps. But I'm struggling to meet my word goal.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Like, I love endings, but I hate endings. Like, I was always the kid who, at the end of the fairy tale, when it was happily ever after, I was like, but what happened next? And I wanted the story to keep going. And I'm still like that, which is why, I'm writing 6 and 7 series books and things like that.
Yeah.
And for the first 2 anthologies that we did together, it took me so long to get them cut down to the right word count. It was such a big struggle. But with this last one, I was 1,000 words under the deadline, not the deadline, the word count limit on the first draft. And I was so proud of myself. Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. I'm sure it's delicious.
That's okay.
Because everything you write is amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I'll send you your check.
I love you too. Thank you. I am I'm not even like the president. I'm like the grand high poobah of your fan club because I will try to sell your books way more than I even try to sell my own. Because I'm like,
I'm blushing so hard right now.
I'll take it. Like, you guys read this book. Somebody says something, blah, 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 werewolves. And I'm pulling the book out of my pocket and slapping them upside the head with it because I'm just like, read this book. And that's,
You're amazing.
I'm a big cheerleader for you.
I love it. I love that you like my books. I
like them so much.
But I'm also like, stop complimenting me because I hate being complimented.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I've turned the tables.
I'm weird. I'm awkward as hell about compliments.
Like 75% of me complimenting you also is just because I love watching you get all squirmy about it. Like, oh God, shut up. Stop
the truth comes out. Okay, I see how it is. All right, moving on.
At least I'm not lying.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, moving on. So we've talked about the anthologies. Why don't you tell us how the anthologies came to be? What was the origin story? What's the anthology's origin story?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
The most interesting version.
I was a part of the AuthorTube community on YouTube for a while. In the time that I was in there, I feel like I kind of got a reputation for being a bit of a maverick. So we were in a live stream one Friday, and the live stream was hosted by Rita Slanina, a good friend of mine. We were just talking about things that we had to do during the sprints and stuff like that. And I offhandedly made mention that I needed to go wash my hair. I have to go to the library and I don't want to go in there looking like a bog hag. Several people were like, what's a bog hag? One of them being Rita. And I was just like, what do you mean what's a bog hag? A bog hag. Like, and evidently there's lots of people who did not know what bog hags were. So in the course of doing so, I tried to explain it in the best way I possibly could. And it still was very baseline. I'm like, it's a witch in a bog with like birds and stuff in her hair and twigs. And, so I'm trying to like make the correlation to my hair, as is wont to happen when you have an entire group of creatives in a small area together. When you start explaining things like that, their imaginations explode. And everybody in there would start talking about how they would take a bog hag and put it in their stories that they were currently writing.
Okay.
And it became this fun thing because there were so many different genres being represented that it was hilarious when people are like, oh, I could do this. And the bog hag could curse the fairy and blah, blah, blah. The bog hag rides in on a dragon. The bog hag's under the bed and in the closet, or so, I don't know. But so that's how it just went out of control, with all of us just spitballing all of these ideas of how they would write a story about a bog hag. I just offhandedly, chuckling, oh, this is cute. I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we had like an anthology of just all of us writing short stories about a bog hag? Everyone was kind of like, oh my God, that's brilliant. I was like, what? And then it was like, oh my gosh, Nicole's going to put together this anthology. I was like,
what?
Yes, no,
yes. I am.
like, and one of the things of my reputation of being a maverick, I don't wait until I know what I'm doing. I jump in immediately and start doing things because I'll learn on the job training,
Yeah.
I will figure it out as I'm going. That's just how I do things. And I learn faster that way. I learn more intuitively that way because I will make mistakes that seem like it makes sense to me. And then I have to intuitively learn as opposed to being taught like on the fly. I just was like, yeah, you know what? I will put this together. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I can totally do this. Mind you, I'd never published anything at all in my life. I had never done anything like this. I knew nothing about self-publishing in this regard. I knew nothing. I was there because I was a writer and I enjoyed writing and I enjoyed being a part of a writer's community. And then suddenly I was making an anthology and I was like, oh God, that means I have to like set up guidelines and stuff like that. And I just had everybody just email me their stuff to my personal email. It's like, just send it to me. Yeah, it's going to be all of us here on AuthorTube. If you write a short story, I'll publish a short story. Not a problem. And then I will make it, I'll set the price point to where it's however low Amazon will let me make the price point. That's what I'm going to do. So nobody's making money for this. It's just the fun of we have it. That was how everything got started. And it was a fantastic success. We had 16 contributors, 16 separate writers. As the word spread throughout the community, we got even, more people interested, and people wrote their short stories about bog hags and where they fit in their genres and stuff like that. And it was amazing. So that happened. And I was like, it's just a one-off. Like this, it was just a silly thing that I did. It's not going to be a big deal. And then I was in one of Jenna O'Malley's live streams. Somehow the conversation got started on what the next one was going to be. And I was like, okay. And Jenna is the one who said, I think Beltane would be a cool theme. Yeah. And it was about the Beltane time because I think we were talking about the fact that it's the penis holiday. The whole holiday is celebrating fertility. And so it's a lot of imagery of wieners and stuff like that.
Very phallic symbolism. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's where us is just being weirdos, because it was nice to be able to be a weirdo on Jenna's stream because she hosted them in the evening. So like all the good people of the world had gone to bed and we were just chaos gremlins in her live streams, and it was fantastic. So I then found myself with a second anthology. And this was the point in through here where you and I really started interacting with each other, was through Jenna's live streams. The rest is history, I suppose. That's the beginning. That's the origin story.
Yeah, I get this message on Discord. Hey, Sarah, you want to do something fun with me? Or something to that effect. Like, yeah, sure. Little did I know.
In all of these years, now you have learned that when I say that, the answer is no. No, Nicole, no. You're asking me to do, it's insane. It's stupid. Why would you ask me this? Lose my number by. So
no,
I've said that several times. And
yeah, I have to. I have screenshots of of Nicole saying, don't ever let me do something like this again. So that when she tries to do something like this again, I can send her a picture of her saying, no, don't let me do this again.
Exactly.
And then she still does it.
Well, I mean, I try to rationalize.
You've gotten better this year. This year, you've made an effort to be better.
I have made an effort to say no when people come to me and want me to do things, which is something that I've not really done very good with in the past, simply because I love helping people. Like it's I love doing it. I love that feeling of I have a skill that is beneficial for someone. So
yes, but there is a difference between helping people and letting them take advantage of you, which unfortunately we all learned the hard way.
We learned the hard way. We learned that lesson, and so it has made in the year of 2026 a lot easier to say no, because I put myself back in that scenario and I'm like, you want to do that again? No.
The answer is no. Sarah will drive to your house and literally drag you away if you try to do something like that again. I will get Kyle involved. Kyle is Nicole's husband.
Yes, Kyle is. Kyle is also our intern.
We will stage an intervention. Yes, intern Kyle for the win.
Yes, intern Kyle. He came at me recently too. He's like, why did you just make a writers group? But yeah, so I've just recently worked with my dear friend Kathy at Books A Go-Go, local to me, local-ish. It's like half an hour away from me, to create a writers group that's hosted through her business, her bookstore, her indie bookstore. He's like, why did you just do that? Remember that you're not supposed to be doing things? And I was like, but I thought this one through. I found a loophole. And basically, it sounds bad when I say it like this. I'm not using anyone, but I'm using the idea as kind of like a way to nurture local folks to want to come into our Two of Crones circle, to get more people locally to me to want to write for us, to attempt it, or even to try to learn how to write short stories. That was kind of exciting to me. So when Kyle was like, why are you doing this? I was like, I'm doing it for Two of Crones. Like, this is all on brand. This is not a side quest. This is actually something that is part of the gig. He was like, okay. He was so sick of me that day.
To be fair, it's the side quests that have been the things that have gotten you in trouble. Not the main focus. So
but I found
you on this one.
So this is only kind of a side quest.
Yeah.
It's a tangentially adjacent quest.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Should we talk about the next anthology?
We absolutely can. But it also didn't escape my attention that we did not talk about how you came onto the anthology.
Oh, well, yeah, we did. No. I said that you sent a message and asked me if I wanted to do something fun. And
it's
later, here we are.
Interesting than that. How about you tell this part of the story? Tell it from your point of view.
Okay, so we met kind of when we did a Halloween live stream with another member of the AuthorTube community who shall remain nameless.
We are.
We won't talk about her. And we hit it off.
Name rhymes with.
Don't.
I'm not going to do it. I won't do it.
Anyway,
but, you guys can send me a message. I'll tell you who it is. I'll write to freaking Billboard, talk about how shitty this person is all day long.
Shady as fuck.
I'm a petty bitch, and like, if you don't want me to do that, behave better. Sorry. Continue.
Anyway, So anyway, Nicole and I hit it off and we started seeing each other in streams and going off on tangents about, was it Pat Benatar or was it?
It was Duran Duran.
It was Duran Duran. I knew then that this was someone who was meant to be a part of my life in some way.
We took over Jenna's stream.
Yeah, we hijacked Jenna's stream.
About Duran Duran, and Jenna's like, you guys, what are you doing? Stop it. Stop. And
we were hungry like the wolf. We had to.
Yeah, we were being so poorly behaved that Jenna was like, you know what? If you guys will stop, I'll host the next live stream totally talking about Duran Duran. And we're like, yay!
Duran Duran.
So we dropped it then, but then we went to the next live stream. We're like, Duran Duran, Simon Le Bon. And
John Taylor.
Oh,
that was hot for the bass player.
John, Nick Rose.
Have a moment for John Taylor. That back in the day. Total yum. Anyway, Nicole and I started blowing each other's Discord up and having like just these insane random chats about everything under the sun. And it was amazing. And then she asked me if I wanted to do the Beltane anthology with her. And much like her, I say yes before I think things through. I said, yeah, of course I do. But I've never done it before. And I was like, but to be totally honest, I don't write short stories. Like I hadn't written a short story in 20 years at that point, and I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never done an anthology before, and we did it. And it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, which is why I continue to do it, and why we have taken the Beltane anthology, which was an AuthorTube anthology, and opened it up to all writers, which is exciting. I don't know. It's doing something like this for our community, and also where the proceeds now go to charity. Being able to be a writer is an act of privilege on even the most basic level, because not everybody has a story to tell, but not everybody can tell a story. So the fact that we can do this at all is a talent, and it's a little bit of a privilege, I think, because storytelling is how we grow from generation to generation and how we remember our past and affects the future. And I just think stories are magical. So being able to do this and give back to our community and give back to other communities, depending on which charity we are donating the proceeds to, has really become one of my favorite things about being a writer. So I will always be grateful to Nicole for dragging me into this. It's so much fun. We learn something with every anthology that we do about ourselves, about the craft of writing, about running a business, about, publishing. I'm team crone all the way.
Definitely. Well, I mean, you are one of the crones. There are two of us, and you're one of them.
And intern Kyle now.
And intern Kyle, but he's still not a crone. He's
not a crone. He will never be a crone. What did we say he could be? He could be the bone. The bone with the crones.
The bone with the crones. Oh my gosh. Well, that's suggestive.
It really is.
I can't wait for him to listen to that part and start laughing.
Yes. Now I really am blushing, like brightly. So.
Yes.
Not me to go there. Sorry, y'all.
Favorite thing though with having this anthology is just that we are able to reach people and help them learn the love of short stories, to teach them, like, you can do this, because we will help. If someone's like, I want to do this, we will help you.
To an extent. We're not going to do it for you.
To the extent that it does not become a side quest, because I am banned from side quests.
No side quests.
No side quests for Nicole.
Or Sarah. No side quests.
No side quests for us, because we need to freaking focus. And I have bad enough problems focusing as it is.
I think that's what people forget sometimes, is this is not our full-time job. We are very serious about this, and it is part of our individual full-time author careers, but it is not the full-time author career for either one of us. We donate our time and our everything. Like, we pay all the operating expenses, which we are totally happy to do. We are not getting rich off this, y'all.
No, we're not making any money at all. I suppose we are technically losing money.
Yeah, we really are.
But it's worth it. The way I see it is, it's kind of like a donation to so it's the donation to whatever charity that we're operating for that year. But yeah, we love doing this, you guys. It's freaking amazing. I've taken it off the rails again, Sarah.
That's
I'm so sorry.
I'm letting you take it off the rails. I told you this was going to be very organic. I like the kind of unexpected, where is this interview going kind of thing. It's much more interesting for me. But tell us about the next anthology.
Yes, that's what we're coming back to.
Yeah.
The next anthology, the title is Wrecked. And we liked that title. It was very cool just to be wrecked. But the theme is shipwrecks. And we're being very open to the interpretation of ship in this, so that we have special things that we're like, yes, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is not okay, this is not okay, this is not okay. And so obviously anything maritime, whether it's, pirates, or there's a shipwreck at the bottom of the ocean and it's mermaids around it, anything involving a ship of some type wrecking, that's green light. That's good. But it is not not cars wrecking. It's not planes wrecking. It's not trains wrecking. It's not relationships wrecking.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be like,
Unless there's a
that
relationship
ship.
in a shipwreck.
Definitely. And
Then we can't
but that can't be the one thing. There has to be another shipwreck. So it's titled Wrecked. However, shipwreck is the theme. A ship needs to wreck in one way or another.
Yeah.
And we're really looking forward to seeing people's interpretations of this, because there's so much that can be used in all sorts of different genres to create an amazing story that is focused around a wreck. So like we're very exciting.
Yeah. Oh, and just so you guys aren't like trying to like write down everything we're saying, we have a Two of Crones podcast that came out on the 1st with all of the guidelines and everything in there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to link to that in the show notes. I'm also going to link to our website where you can find everything, and the Two of Crones Instagram. So you'll have all the information.
Yes, we made sure that we provided it several ways. So if you wanted to listen, if you're a podcast person, you can listen to us explain the rules and what they are. If you do better with just reading and you just want the get to the point version, that's on the website. If you want a fun, creative, silly way of delivering the rules, that's on Instagram. We got our intern, Kyle the intern, made really cool graphics that are going to go up, that are going to be stellar. Those are going to be really cool. We've got different ways to deliver the rules to you. Pick your poison. They all say the same thing. It's going to be a great anthology.
It really is. Do you want to give anybody a little spoiler about what yours is about?
Oh, anybody who follows me on Instagram, especially around September, October, November, will not be surprised in the slightest bit. My story is about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Not the song, kind of the song, because the song is telling the story of the wreck. Kind of, but it's a very unique take from a unique point of view of the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. I absolutely love that shipwreck, the ship, the history of it, how important it was. I love everything about the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I love the Great Lakes. I'm so happy to live on a Great Lake, because it would be sad if we were like in Nevada. And we're so far away from the Great Lakes, and I have to admire from afar.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love the Great Lakes. I think that people underestimate them. And when you really learn what the Great Lakes are powerful, what they're capable of and how powerful they are, it's just awe-inspiring. It's just mighty to think that there's something so ocean like, something that behaves worse than the ocean, for that matter, inland, that has a habit of eating ships.
Yeah,
so
there's so much lore around the Great Lakes. There's so many crazy stories about them.
Mm-hmm.
They are, I mean, it's a total rabbit hole. I spend time on Lake Michigan every year, and it is one of my favorite places on the planet. Great Lakes are amazing. My story, not to give anything away, is about the most famous shipwreck ever, the Titanic, but I put a supernatural twist. That's all I'm going to say.
As there should be.
As there should be.
Now, you typically write things that are very spicy.
Yeah.
Is there spice in this story, or did you leave it boiled chicken?
No, it's not boiled chicken. It's not. It's kind of spice in the abstract. You'll just have to read it to find out what I mean by that.
Ooh, now I'm excited, because you are typically very, very spicy with your stories.
Very spicy. My doors are wide open. This
4 to 5 chilies. Yeah.
Yeah. This one is spice in the abstract. That's how I'm describing it.
I'm just really happy that your stories are not scratch and sniff, because you get like in there.
I do.
You can edit out that statement if you like.
Okay. For me, sex is a very important part of most relationships, and it is for a lot of people, not everybody. And when I'm reading a book, I want to know all the things. Like I love cozy mysteries, but I'm always like, man, this would have been so much better with some spice. So I don't know. It's important to my stories. You know, there's a fine line about writing erotic scenes and writing erotica. So I try to keep it where the sex is not the story, the sex advances the story. And before we get into a whole podcast about erotic scenes versus erotica, we'll just leave it
But
there.
that is a fantastic podcast for the future.
That is. We might have to do
I'll
that.
come
I might
back
have
on
to
for
get,
that one.
ooh, I can get authors of every level, like full on, like all the kink to sweet closed door. And we can have a panel discussion.
I'm here for it. Pencil it in. Write it down right now. We're doing this.
All right. I'm writing it down. We'll call it the chili pepper panel.
Oh my gosh, that is a perfect name.
Yeah. All right. It's happening. Oh, I know one thing I need to ask. Why don't you tell us where we can find you? Where's the best place to find you?
Oh, heck yeah. So I am on no social media. I had a situation that just made me feel like I think I'm done with social media. So the best place to find me is on my website, NicoleFordThomas.com. On there, you will also find links for how to reach me. Unfortunately, it still has the social media links on there. But you can also email me at hello@NicoleFordThomas.com. And even if it's just to be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? How you hanging out? Listen to that podcast. It was pretty cool. Or if you wanted to be like, hey, I listened to you talk and it was the most annoying thing ever. I hope you are never, ever on another podcast because I hear your voice in my nightmares. Like, you can say that too. That will be a very interesting conversation, actually. I would love to hear more.
I would like to be on the wall for that conversation.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would be taking screenshots and sending them to you
true.
the entire time because you're my work bestie.
Yeah.
As soon as it's inside of a work day, like you are like my whole center of everything. Like, I'm like, what's Sarah doing? Where's Sarah at?
Yeah,
how's everything? What's Sarah up to? So like within the work time period, Sarah is my sun and my moon. So
right back at you.
Yeah. I mean, well, we're trying to run a business together, so
it's good that we like each other.
Good thing we like each other.
Yeah.
But those are your best ways to get a hold of me is to just check out my website or send me an email. I'm old school like that. If I could give you my address and be like, write me a letter.
Don't give out your address, Nicole.
I'm not going to give out my address. Totally.
I can just see you doing that.
Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it would be cool if I have like a PO box. Like, everybody send me a letter. Tell me what you think of my book.
Yeah. You can also, though, find Nicole on the Two of Crones Instagram. And then we also have a Substack, which is twoofcrones.substack.com. I usually handle all the Substacking, but if you have a message for Nicole, I'm happy to pass it along.
Sarah is our Substack guru. She knows all the ins and outs. She's got it all figured out. She's amazing at it, you guys. So make sure that if you are following us on Substack, that you take time to be like, Sarah's great. I'm so glad Sarah did this. She lives off of compliments. Her favorite thing in the world is to be complimented.
Shut up, Nicole.
Make sure you give her many compliments.
I'm editing this out.
Oh, that would be a terrible shame. Don't do that. Think of all the compliments you'll miss out on.
Oh, no. I would be so sad.
She's the best, you guys. Seriously. Make sure that when you see what's going on Substack, just know Sarah's behind all of it. The only thing I do on Substack put the podcast up.
There you go.
Put the podcast. You can see us at the podcast.
Yeah.
Substack.
Podcast is awesome. You guys should totally be listening to it. Nicole and I are unfiltered. We're always unfiltered, but we're like
unfiltered. Almost to like a detriment. Like almost in a way that probably we shouldn't be, but we're really bad at filtering ourselves.
We're in our crone era. We don't give a fuck.
We're old now. We've earned the right. Like, yeah, we've earned the right to not do this. I'm over the hill. I'll say what I damn well want.
Yeah, and I'm even older than Nicole, so we will say what we want, when we want, about what we want.
That's the entire podcast, man. That's our whole tagline.
That's our tagline.
What we want, when we want, with the language we want. Colorful language, ahoy.
Colorful language.
So that's it. That's how you get a hold of me. You can get like those things that I listed, and then through Two of Crones, obviously you can find me. But if it's through Substack, just know you're probably talking to Sarah because she's freaking amazing at it.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I'm like passable at it. But I will definitely pass messages on to Nicole.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. Sarah's just mid. Sarah, I mean, she's doing like the basement bottom amount to keep the thing afloat. She's the worst, guys. Really the worst. Make sure you tell her how great she is.
I'm like, no.
You know better.
You can tell me that I'm great, but then just move on. Like, You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Okay, then move on to something else.
And you need a crown and a scepter.
I do need a crown and a scepter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really like giving that Maleficent ensemble we looked at a whole bunch of side eye.
I
Like,
think you should do it.
I might have to get that. Just walk around with the scepter and the horns on all day.
Why not? Like, we're old now. We can do this.
We can do this. Okay, Nicole, do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Just that Sarah's super great, you guys. Keep listening to this podcast because she's going to be amazing. From here on out, they're all going to be super awesome. All the ones that have already happened are super great. She's fantastic.
No pressure. No pressure. None whatsoever. None.
Well, I mean, it's only pressure if you think that like people actually give a flip what my opinion is. So,
I mean, you'd be surprised. I think more people than you think care what your opinion is.
Well, if they do, send me an email. Tell me that you care about my opinion. Let's get this conversation started, guys, and I'll send Sarah all the screenshots.
I'm gonna mute you now. You're
okay.
I'm just gonna cut you off now.
Sarah's like, you're getting the hook. The gong.
You're getting the hook. Like the gong show action. If for any of you who may be Gen X or older, like other people are like, what's the gong show?
What's the gong show? They need to bring the gong show back.
Didn't they bring the gong show back at one point?
I don't know.
You know those weird, well, you don't watch TV, but I think they did bring the gong show back for like one season. I don't know. We're going off on another tangent now, so we should probably.
It's what we do. This is why it takes us forever to get anything to
We are the Tangent Twins.
The Tangent Twins. Oh my gosh. That's our other subtitle.
We need t-shirt. We need Tangent Twins t-shirts now. We'll have to add it to our list.
Intern on that.
Kyle, we have a little project for you. All right. So thank you so much for being my very first guest on Apocalyptic Pep Talk.
I mean, but who else would you get on here?
I know, right?
Of course. I'm just kidding. Thank you for letting me be on your podcast, knowing full well that I was going to completely wreck the entire thing. In all fairness, though, you guys, this is literally what it's like listening to us talk to each other, which we do all the time.
Yeah.
This has literally been a conversation that we have. This is us. This is legitimately us. This chaos is the power behind Two of Crones.
Yeah, there is no act happening. This is Crones chaos we're just a mess on any given Tuesday or Friday, as the case may be when we're recording this. Now you know. Run and hide, kids. Run and hide.
Or come closer, friends, and let us take you under our wings.
And if you're lucky, we may let you stir the cauldron. Ooh. Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone. Okay, y'all. That's another Apocalyptic Pep Talk done and dusted. Thank you to the one and only Nicole Ford Thomas for joining me today. And a special thank you to all of you who made it to the end. You are my people. New episodes every Wednesday. Bring your ambition, your existential dread, and whatever caffeine situation you currently have going on. See you next time.